Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this. Welcome to our second 2019 update video for No Borders Inc. I am Joseph Snyder, the CEO of NBDR. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for following us. Remember to follow us on YouTube. And I am most active probably on Twitter at NBDR CEO. And you can find the company on Twitter at No Borders NBDR. And check us out. Go check out the social media. I think our team and our company and myself do a pretty good job of that. We have some fun with it, and we try to stay engaged with everybody. So thanks again for following us. Thanks again for watching these videos. It does mean the world to us to have you interested in our journey and what we're doing and what we get to share with you. So I'm going to jump right into it. First of all, I'd like to thank Sal at Supreme Penny Stocks Podcast. He has a podcast on YouTube. Awesome guy, a lot of fun. And I did an interview with him on Sunday and got to talk about No Borders, talk about some of the things that we're doing, talk about some of the brands that we have going on and how we see these technologies disrupting businesses and how we are working to make that reality and to benefit from that and have our company grow and scale with that. So thanks again, Sal. It was great to get to know you. And if you haven't, jump over to Supreme Penny Stocks. Check out his podcast and give a listen to me doing this on his show instead for like an hour. So yeah, good times. So we do have some questions that came in, and they came in to Marissa. So thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. There was actually a few. One of them was, is Joe's brother Chris still the chief technology officer? We haven't heard from him in a while. So I'm going to use that against Chris, and I'm going to make him join me for one of these and say hello to everybody. But yes, Chris is absolutely still with the company. He is my absolute right hand, and I am his right hand. So, you know, that would be what we do would be very, very, very difficult for me to do without him and without that expertise and that team of amazing people. So we love Chris. He's been extremely busy. As you might imagine, we have revamped, relaunched, or completely rebuilt from the ground up new websites, new media properties, new social media properties, new marketing platforms, and new marketing plans and strategies, and just an incredible load of work that goes on over there. So I'm sorry that I haven't he and I haven't had the chance to get back out in front of the public together, I guess I would say. But he's been very, very busy, and they're hard at work, and they're having a great time. So yes. Moving on, another question was about equity token project and our previously announced contract with Crypto Emporium for software development work. So I'm going to take those one at a time. First, I'm going to talk about Crypto Emporium, and then we'll talk about some little updates in equity token project. There are some news coming in the very near future. I would even venture to say next week is what we're looking at right now, trying to get things situated. But there is some announcements coming around equity token project, and we are bringing on additional members to the project with different types of expertise. That's, I think, really impactful and really interesting and a lot of fun. And that project is something that we really believe in, that, you know, those technologies simply are a better way of transacting some of these types of transactions. And we've said it, you know, over and over and over again. Distributed ledger technologies, you know, consensus algorithms, blockchain systems are a really interesting toolkit for things like voting and things like you know, equity trading and debt issuance and real estate crowdsourced fundraising and things like that. So never a second thought for us about looking at how we deploy those technologies within the verticals that we're operating in, and how we continue to expand that network of experienced professionals who kind of own a piece of what these things take to get done, right? The legal piece, the marketing piece, the financial piece, the technology piece, You know, there's so many things that go into these different types of structures being able to be deployed on these technologies, and creating an ecosystem to have discourse about that, and to have expertise available for companies and interested parties to speak with and engage with and everything else, I think is very, very valuable. So that's definitely an interesting thing that we're doing, and I will have more information coming out about it, and some announcements, like I said, very, very soon. Coming over to Crypto Emporium. We have canceled our contract with Crypto Emporium, and the reason why is that our legal advisors, the way that contract was structured was that most of our compensation was participating, you know, getting rewards from the fundraising event, utilizing the smart contract and websites that we were building for Crypto Emporium to execute their fundraise. And when we started that project, that all looked great. And in the process of going through the part of that project that we ultimately went through, the SEC came out and said some very specific things about how they viewed the token generation events, how they viewed, you know, registered securities, and these kinds of things. Now, those weren't things that we didn't expect. We have always said from the very beginning that we believe that these are primarily securities or asset-backed instruments, and that they should be treated as such, and everything else. But it put us in a funky position it potentially could put us in a funky position as a publicly traded company to accept proceeds from an unregistered offering. And that was not a position that we were comfortable putting the company in. That was not a position that Crypto Emporium wanted to put us in. And at the same time, you know, they didn't necessarily want to go through the work of an effort of registering with the U.S. securities when they're, you know, out of Spain or England or wherever their legal structure is. So where that led us is a very amicable place. We have referred other business to Crypto Emporium and things like that. But we did deliver to them the initial smart contracts that had been worked up. We did deliver to them the assets that had been worked up that our team did, and we did have to cancel that contract. So we are no longer working on that project. We will not be receiving proceeds from any of their sales, and we are not participating in any of their sales. So that's one of those things where you know, we had to make a decision that we thought was best for the overall company, and make sure that we weren't putting ourselves in a position long term to have a conflict or questions being asked by our regulatory bodies, who we who we respect, and who, you know, we're here to play by the rules as they are understood, and sometimes those are changing from point A to point B, and we understand that. So that's where we're at on that, and we're just moving full steam ahead. So talking about full steam ahead, we have not officially announced, but talked about several times, the No Borders Naturals brand. And so I am very happy to announce the No Borders Naturals brand, kind of in an official capacity here. You know, nobordersnaturals.com is up. It is live. It has not been launched officially because the team is still working on finishing out some product line things with our suppliers, and getting finished product in house for so that the photos on the website can be updated and the information can be finalized. The website does work. We do have inventory in stock. We actually have product in stock, which is very, very cool. These are 1,000 milligram hemp CBD gummies that are fantastic. And you know, we also have massage oils, CBD 200 milligrams. These are all lab tested, both internally and third party lab tested, THC free. You will not fail a drug test. They're fantastic products. The original product, which I actually don't have any here because I'm out of it, even my own personal stash. But the original product I started using, as I've said before, I started using as a rub. A friend of mine was manufacturing it, and I used it. And, you know, I've had 2 shoulder, you know, rebuilds, basically. I've got plates and anchors in both shoulders. And so I have this kind of, you know, tension that stems from my shoulders kind of overcompensating all the time. And I don't know, just having metal in your body, I guess. So, you know, I carry this tension and kind of in my traps and in my neck. And the CBD rub, the even oil-based CBD rub that we sell and is available on the website, nobordersnaturals.com, it just worked. I mean, I put it on, and in 15, 20 minutes, I had less tension, less stress, less pain. And I put it on before bed and be able to sleep. And so, you know, that was the impetus for action as far as I was concerned around this. You know, we had spoken with several marijuana companies around the blockchain space about, you know, different pieces of supply chain that they were looking to put onto blockchain and things like that. I know people in the space. I live in California. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things where we had kind of been talking to people in the space and things like that for a while, but then really finding a product and using it and getting such a dynamic result. And again, these have not been, these statements have not been certified by the Food and Drug Administration. I got to say all that stuff every time. I get it, but great product, an absolutely phenomenal premium product. The suppliers that we are working with, the manufacturers that we are working with, we are making sure that it is all lab tested, that it, you know, we're using natural ingredients whenever possible. You know, obviously for, you know, gummy bears, we're not 100% organic, natural source on that. But, you know, we really have found great high quality additions to this product line. And so it's great to you know, to have these, to hold our product in hand and have that going out in orders already. You know, we didn't even launch the website officially, and there's been orders on there going through. We've got orders at stores. We've got retail locations open in Scottsdale and Gilbert and all the way down to Tucson. You know, we've got retail locations that are calling us back a week or 15 days after product placement saying, hey, we need to reorder. You know, we've sold out of this, we've sold out of that. You know, people really like it. So it's a product line that I believe in. It's a product line that I think has a lot of potential for growth. We've got some really fun, interesting plans and tests and things. Chris's team on the digital marketing and data analytics side and data utilization side at No Borders Labs are just, you know, they're just excited to be able to play with all of the different data sets and all the different things that we can do to scale growth and to impact that. So we're having a lot of fun with it. I am thrilled to have the product lines that we have. We've got more stuff coming. All of that is just coming together really, really well. The team's really excited about it. Everybody loves it. You know, everybody that's tried it loves it. And so, you know, what else can you say about a product? And what else can you say about a product line? In addition to that, I did speak to Michael Noel at Blockchain Consultants in Phoenix today, because we're back to this kind of conversation of saying, hey, we've got this CBD product line. Now it's ours. So, you know, what does this look like if we maybe, you know, get together as a group and look at, because, you know, they have some work that they've done in the agricultural space already. And so it's like, hey, what does it look like if we get together as a group and start putting this, right? I want to be able to have a QR code on my product that people can scan, and they're directly linked to the lab test results for the product, right? I want to have this supply chain transparency where people can see this in real time. What does that look like? Now, I don't know today, right? There's a lot of questions that go into that, especially when we're dealing with some disparate manufacturing, right? This gets very complex very, very quickly. But I think that a place to start is at the beginning. And that's where we say, look, we have this product and we have this supply line. It's ours. We're bringing a product to market. We have the product. The suppliers need us because we're buying from them. You know, we're delivering it to customers. That's all great. What questions do we need to ask? What market participants can we bring in? How can we get a group concerted effort around an idea like that and move forward with more technological superiority? And so there's a 1-2 punch there that I think is really kind of beautiful. And we're going to, you know, over the next little while here, show you guys how that works is the idea. Okay, No Borders Naturals. Do not judge me for the product photos that are on there today because I'm not happy with them. And I would like being happy with them before I talk about them. But, you know, at a certain point, I got to do these videos. So No Borders Naturals. Check it out, nobordersnaturals.com. Go buy yourself some CBD massage oil. Buy yourself some tincture. We've got CBD tincture for dogs on there. We're, you know, adding some stuff for cats. We're adding some other stuff for dogs. I do love my dogs. I have 2 Siberian Huskies, and they're amazing. They're laying right there. They're amazing, and I love them. They can be quite hyper at night, you know, and where we, you know, I don't have like a doggy door or something where they can go in and out because we've got some property here. And so it'd be really muddy and it would just drag mud through the house, and my wife's not going to have that. So when I got the tincture, when I got the 500 milligram dog tincture that is, that's available, I started giving it to them with their food bowl at night. And so I'm giving them a 16 milligram dose per dog, and they're larger dogs. These aren't small dogs. And it just seems to take that edge off, and they sleep all night. And, you know, we had a Great Dane who got very, very old. She was, and I love my Huskies, but she was the best dog we ever had by far. Her name was Harmony. She was a fantastic dog. And, you know, she got to the point where her hips would go, and she couldn't quite move around like she used to. And she couldn't chew things that were as hard as she used to. And, you know, I can't help but think how just the results that I see from this in my dogs that are healthy and rambunctious and excited, and then being able to kind of relax and rest, what that might have been able to, you know, what that might have been done for her. So, you know, I believe in the product, and I believe in the industry. I believe in the hemp industry as an industry, because I think that plant has extremely interesting use cases in a myriad of verticals. But this vertical specifically is a vertical that I think we can impact aggressively. It is a vertical where I believe that we are doing well and doing good at the same time, and that's important to our team. And it's a vertical where we have product in hand that we really believe in and that we use. And so that's a formula for success, I believe. That brings me to Metadent. So as you know, we have MetadentSupplies.com is our dental, medical and dental, you know, supplier and equipment and supplier sales organization, sales company. And so I'm saying I'm a lot tonight. I should probably stop doing that. I'm probably going to hear about it later. Is what's going to happen is I'm going to hear about it later. Like, hey, did you know that you, well, it's midnight and I have been chugging along since about 6 o'clock this morning. So I apologize if I say I'm a lot on this particular video. Metadent is, Metadent is so much fun. So we are currently interviewing a bunch of really fun, excited sales staff for Metadent. And we've added some people. We've got some people coming on board in real time. So that's, you know, that's the whole onboarding package. And and marketing materials and business cards and this, this whole setup, and all of this stuff. But the really cool thing there is we have made a strategic move into the market to be competitively priced, aggressive on our price points, aggressive on our flash sales, and aggressive on our customer service, right? To where, we are focused on building out detailed email engagement, re-engagement, marketing campaigns, digital marketing campaigns, remarketing campaigns, all of these pieces going in at once. And so, the great news is that we have, the website is up, we have sales rolling through. It is a 0 to 1 event for us, and it's great. It's going. The even better news is that while all that's happening, Chris and his team have set up the digital side, and we are tracking all of the information. Our remarketing and retargeting campaigns are spinning up. They take a certain amount of data, right? It requires a certain amount of data before these things can even turn on. You've got to generate a certain amount of traffic. And luckily for us, by bringing in a customer base and bringing in a supplier base through the deal that we made with Clinton Bailey to get No Borders Dental Resources spun up and to get Medident supplies rolled out, we already had a lot of traction, and we already had a voice and a known spot in the market. And so all of those digital pieces are coming to bear. And so we're seeing drastic reductions in the cost that it costs us to drive somebody to the website. We're seeing massive reductions in the advertisement placement costs and cost per click and cost per engagement and ultimately cost per conversion. And so that's a lot of fun to watch. Chris and his team have a great time with that kind of stuff. And we're also building up the content bubble. Marissa and Francine and their team have done a great job. We've got content going up. We've got, some dentist interviews going up. We've got some commercials that have, video marketing pieces that have already, I guess you call them commercials, video marketing pieces that have already been developed and deployed for both Medident and No Borders Naturals, by the way. And so all of those motions happening at the same time, while on the ground, Clinton Bailey and somewhat myself are putting together a fantastic on-the-ground sales team. It looks like we will have sales reps by the end of January in Washington, D.C., Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Salt Lake City, Utah, Denver, Colorado, and Central Valley, California, and on top of several reps that are already active in the Phoenix area. So just attacking the market. We're attacking the market from the ground. We're attacking the market at conventions. Clint and I will be attending a convention at the end of this month at the invite of one of our suppliers and going through and saying, hi, we're not doing a booth or anything at that. We are just going for meet and greets and attacking it digitally. So we're having a good time. We're having a good time. And, this is these are the motions that we bring the expertise and the experience to the table from our operations and our marketing and our messaging side. Being able to spool up multiple content bubbles at the same time is a trick, right? There's a specific amount of input and knowledge and strategy that have to go into those pieces. And we have those systems built out now. Our team can take an idea, which is how most of these things start somewhere in the back of my head, can take an idea and we can use our tasking systems, our project management systems, and our communication systems. Remember, we're completely remote work. We're 100% remote work, and we're trying really hard to stay that way. Our sales team for Medident is completely remote work, and it adds a lot of power that way. So, we're doing all of these things with digital technologies, with an eye on results-oriented communications. right? Where the amount of time that we get, the amount of cycles that we get from a staff member is specifically limited to the amount of cycles that they have assigned to us. So those cycles can get used either to try to figure out something that needs to get started or to actually go get the piece done that really needs to be done. And so we use these great project management tools. We use this tool called Asana. We use a great communications tool called Slack. We use this tool that I'm using right now, Zoom Video. This is actually a video conferencing tool, and I use it for recording because it's easy and it's simple and I like it and it works. And yes, I've gotten the comments about the video quality and, you know, my dogs bark in the background sometimes. I don't know what to tell you. You know, you're welcome. We keep costs low. I don't know. So we're having a great time. There are, you know, we obviously No Borders Education has already been announced, that subsidiary. There will be some announcements coming out about that as well. They've been working really hard on that and have that chugging along. So I'll be sharing more information about that as well. But the pieces of our puzzle, as we see them going together, are going together rather nicely. And you know, this for us is a play where we are looking at these different verticals and how we apply the power that we have, the knowledge that we have, and the expertise that we have as an internal team to impact markets, to reduce costs, and to create value through scale for our shareholders. And as a major shareholder of NBDR, I am very, very much personally interested in that being a reality, and I work very, very hard to make it a reality. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know this went longer than any of us planned, but again, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of the journey, and I appreciate you. Have a wonderful January.